Ah, Barotrauma. I remember the first time I played this game. That's what I'm doing. What the fuck? Uh-oh, something. What the fuck is that?
Bum bum bum, ba-dum ba-dum.
Hello and welcome to a Barotrauma demonstration tutorial thing. It's not really a tutorial, it's more of just showcase. Yes, showcase! Welcome to the showcase! I haven't got a script because I don't use scripts. I do have a script. I have Barotrauma Monsters 7.0.1 and it says scenes. Wing it. Duh. There you go. There's my script. Anyways, this will be showcasing the Barotrauma monsters. I think that's how you say it, Barotrauma. Barotrauma is a 2D multiplayer resource management game currently developed by Undertow Games, the people who made SCP Containment Breach. The game is actually free as a pre-alpha. It was released July 31st, 2015. And it's not a common game actually. SCP Containment Breach is more popular because, well, everyone likes SCPs. The full commercial release is actually coming around 2016 to 2017, but I haven't actually seen it, so it's 2017 now, it's at the end of 2017, so no monsters. Anyways, this is just me panicking, I think. This is on the submarine Velamalo. And, are we sinking? Yeah, we're sinking. And this was just me panicking because I was attacked by, I think it was a Mantis. You'll see them. Mantises are a small creature that are a pain in the ass. So, let's just get on with the basics. You hear that? That's my script. So, I have to explain how small creatures are annoying as hell in capitals, but do make the game interesting. So the thing is, they make the game interesting because they can board your ship and ruin everything. And they're kind of difficult. That's why you always need guns. Because, you know. But like I said, this tutorial is for people who don't know what the game. I'm just going to give up now, okay? I don't know. I'm horrible at scripting and words. This is going to be such a bad showcase. So bad. The carrier is a creature that only appears during the mission Salvaging a Dialect, where it must be killed in order to progress. The carrier is a sentient, parasitic growth that has taken on a submarine as a shell. When encountered in-game, it is incredibly dangerous, and will take multiple hits from a railgun to be killed. Its head can destroy the hull of a submarine in a single hit, meaning that it must be killed quickly if you want to survive. Despite the uniquity of its appearance, the AI is similar to that of the Moloch, and therefore similar precautions should be taken. So, as you can see, it's banging into my ship, but it says here it destroys it with one hit. That isn't happening. I haven't even got God mode enabled. Oh wait, did I? Oh, fuck me. Here it is giving me a push. I don't know if I had God mode or not on. Huh. Its attack damage is 100 and its kinetic force is 20. The Charybdis is a creature that spawns in the abyss. The Charybdis resembles a massive eyeless whale with an odd humpback. Most usually, the Charybdis resembles an upside-down whale. This is most likely unintentional, could be used as a way to play dead as a possum would, so as to hide from the larger predators that also roam the abyss. The Charybdis is usually quick, but not so much as the Coelanth, and very bulky. Their damage is rather unique among creatures in that, while it does the same amount of structural damage as the mighty Edworm, its jaws do something damage to lone creatures, okay? I have a speech impediment. No, I don't. I just suck at English. Should you find yourself assaulted by a Charybdis, the best course of action is to leave the submarine and confront it in person. Despite the creature's apparent blindness, mechanically it does possess the ability of sight, like Alien out of Alien vs Predator. Because where the fuck is its eyes? Albeit much weaker than most creatures. It is wise to turn all sonars to passive in attempt to sneak by. Also, it's named after a Greek mythology creature that was able to summon deadly whirlpools by swallowing large amounts of water. The Coelanth is a large fish-like beast that only appears in the deep abyss, making them very rare to encounter. The Coelanth's most prominent features are its size and elongated jaw, that possesses several sets of fangs, allowing the fish to eat and tear effectively, if this thing even is a fish. The fractured pieces of the scale indicate that the ones encountered in the game are in their mature stages of growth. 3 pairs of eyes which appear to be coated in a film, hinting at deteriorization because of this. They possess poor eyesight and rely primarily on hearing to find prey and food. As Coelanths only naturally spawn in the abyss, it may indicate that they have an aversion to relatively high temperatures but enjoy high pressures. This would also explain the state of their eyes and the crackling of their skin respectively. When a Coelanth detects a submarine, it will begin attempting to bite through the hull. It will prioritize eating any crew members it comes across. Should it successfully bite a crew member, it will hold them in their jaw for about half a second before letting go. Caution is heavily advised when encountering Coelanths. Coelanths. They only appear as one, so don't worry, you won't be attacked by 2 unless you're that unlucky. Underwater scooter is recommended in the event that a player is outside the submarine, since these hunters are amongst the swiftest of Europa. Since Coelanths do not have strong eyesight, they can easily be avoided as so long as distance is maintained from them. Coelanths are especially dangerous when found in their natural habitat, the abyss, as the breaches they open let the incredibly pressurized water inside. There you go. Their attack damage is 200, and oh, look at this! We've come across a ancient ruin. Huh. Their attack damage is 200, bleeding damage 50, structure damage 150, damage type slash. So there you go. This is the abyss, by the way. So if you find yourself in a crack, this is where the abyss is. Also, guys, I didn't have a script. I'm just lucky that I'm showing the abyss. That's it's really lucky. So you usually find Coelanths there, and I'm not actually sure. You could find the endworm. We'll get there. We'll get there eventually. I have them in order. Okay. So there you go. There's the cracks you can get through to go to the abyss. The crawler is a creature that somewhat resembles a human-sized crawfish, or shrimp. That's what Kraken calls them. If you haven't seen Kraken, you need to see him, because he's the one that got me in this game. Crawlers are fairly small and agile, able to swim as well as they can walk. They possess 3 pairs of eyes, 3 legs, and 2 frontal pincers. They're mainly black and red in color. Crawlers have a segmented shell covering them from head to tail, making hitting them from above an insufficient way of dealing with them. Damage from this angle are reduced to 1/30th if directed at the head, or 1/20th if directed at the rest of the body. They're pretty much a pain in the ass. Tend to appear in small groups of 2 to 3 individuals, compensating their individual frailty. There you go. Due to their size, crawlers cannot do much damage to the hulls. Who fucking wrote this? Cannot do much. Just do can't. Can't do much damage to the hulls of the submarine, but their size allows them to easily fit inside and move around the ship, should they find a way in. Then they become a danger to the crew. Unfortunately, the small size and rapidity of the crawlers makes it difficult to aim at their underbelly. Close-range weaponry is best bet to accomplish such a feat. Splash-type weapons such as incendium grenades can also be effective at medium range. Crawlers can neither open doors nor claw their way out, so quarantining a section of the submarine where a crawler has been is a viable, if suboptimal, way to deal with it. Upon killing a human, or simply finding a human corpse, the crawler will begin to consume the body. So if you have a crew member you don't like, and you have a bunch of crawlers after them, just chuck them out. Easy. Their attack damage is 30, Bleeding damage is 3, structure damage is 50, stun damage is 01, damage type is slash, attack duration 0.5 seconds, and that cooldown 5 seconds. So there you go. Alright, Fractal Guardian, what? Spawn Guardian. Alrighty then, well, fuck you too then, I guess. The Fractal Guardian is the only creature besides humans to have multiple variants. 2 variations of the Fractal Guardian. He hits you with facts! Did you know Kraken joined YouTube on April 1st, 2008? Okay. The first has 3 spike-like limbs that allow it to swim. 2 on the side of its head and 1 at the end of its segmented body. Its body consists of 4 segments, including its head. Each segment appears to have 2 holes on each of them. The second type possesses an orb-like carapace with 2 spike-like limbs on its underside. Due to their heavy torso and the fact they only possess 2 limbs, they are much slower than their worm-like siblings, but they can withstand more damage. Rather uniquely, the Fractal Guardians will attack and kill crew members, but will ignore submarines. However, they only spawn in alien ruins, meaning one must confront them in person. In this case, it's best to bring something capable of stunning, so stun grenades. So multiple Fractal Guardians can spawn in the given alien ruin, but they do not spawn in close proximity. Yes, proximity. I am doing well, don't you guys think? I have like 10 printed out Wikia spaces. Pay, fuck me! Here's a little definition of what husks are. Husk can mean human-like monster, so you may see in Mass Effect husks, and even though they look that human, they are human-based. They've got legs and arms in the same place as a human. Husks are human-based enemies. As their name implies, husks take on the form of human divers, hence human-like, which have become infested and taken over by a parasitic lifeform. Their appearance is equivalent to that of a regular crew member wearing a diving suit, with the biggest difference being a small tentacle protruding from their fractured heads. Due to the broken diving mask, the parasite must be capable of adapting both the human body and its organs to withstand the cold temperatures and high pressures exerted from the ocean. Husks tend to appear in small groups of 2 to 3 individuals. Husks act primarily as disruptive enemies. They are small enough to enter the submarine's corridors and attack crew members therein, which they have a strong compulsion to do. Husks are unable to be inflicted with bleeding, but are otherwise no more resilient than a normal human. Being relatively fragile, they are easily dispatched. If a husk were to attack a player, the player would be infected by husk eggs, also known as Veranoceps calyx eggs. I nailed that. This can be cured with Calixanex. I forgot to Google Translate! What the frick? Dang it! We're gonna spend 5 minutes now of me attempting to say Calixanex. Calixanide. Oh. I just nailed it the first go then. I gotta do this. This can be cured with Calixanide if you are not fully infected by the time they are taken. Husks, I also like to give the name as massive pains in the arse. Sorry about that. I have a tendency to ear rape. Hey, I should be a monster in this game that ear rapes. No. Please don't, because that will actually scare people. That's a good idea. You should have a monster that screams when it like goes to attack. I don't know. Because like people will be having sonar next minute something screams at them. Yeah, I recommend, like, the first thing you should buy is, if you're at a place, you buy crew members and you buy the Calixanide, okay? Otherwise, you're pretty much boned if a husk gets in there. Or if a traitor decides to stab someone with the Veranoceps calyx eggs. Once again, nailed it. Why can I say that but not Calixanide? I'm just filling in random bullshit if you're wondering what's going on, because I still have, like another minute or 2 before this goes in. So this is just me demonstrating one of the infected survivors with the eggs, or the husk eggs. You could call them husk eggs. And basically, yeah, you want to be careful because they will hide themselves in there. You can also tell if a member is infected because they'll start bleeding. That is when they're infected. They'll bite into people to revive health. So if you become one and you want to play as a husk, then all you gotta do is bite into people before you die. And they also attack each other for some reason. They haven't figured out that they're both husks, so... Mantises are horse-sized crustaceans. Mantises are shrimp-like in their movements, using their claws to propel themselves when swimming and skittering when on dry ground. They possess 3 pairs of limbs, 2 pairs of walking legs, and a pair of claws. The mantis's most unique feature is its shell. I always thought its claws were. Which segments across their body, abdomen, and tail. Any attacks inflicted here will be partially absorbed by the shell. The key area to attack them The key area to attack them to deal full damage are their heads and underbellies. What the? Who writes these? Mantises can only attack by slashing with their claw. The actual swipe is slow, although they can attack and skitter at the same time. No, making the claws difficult to avoid. You didn't hear any voice clacks. Voice clacks. Voice clacks. Voice cracks. Mantises are often encountered alone, but can just as frequently appear in pairs. I guess I'm unlucky, because every time I've been attacked by these faggots, I have been attacked by pairs. As you can see, the video there, I was demonstrating something to do with the door. This wiki is a bit bullshit, because it says mantises can neither open doors nor claw their way out. They so can. That's why they're a massive pain. Was that a wild? I think that was a wild mantis attacking as well. Mantises are small enough to fit in the submarine's corridors, where they can move around quickly and attack crew members. On the other hand, their claws are inefficient at getting through the hull, so they tend to only enter the ship through pre-existing breaches. Mantises aren't subjected to bleeding, so there you go. It is recommended to use close-ranged weaponry against a mantis once it is inside the ship, as direct hits need to be made to its underbelly to kill it quickly. Splash-type weapons such as incendium grenades can be effective at medium range. I don't really trust this. Incendium grenades can set your... Oh god, look at those husks. Oh no, they're crawlers, sorry. Are they? Oh no, they're husks. Okay, I can't see from the dark lighting and the small screen because Windows Movie Maker's good. Yes, this is made in Windows Movie Maker. Someone sponsor me! The Moloch is a large jellyfish-like creature. Molochs possess 3 elongated tentacles which allow them to propel themselves through water, although it makes them poor at walking on dry ground. They don't need to walk. They have poor eyesight and instead use sensory tendrils which line the vertical side of its head to navigate the ocean. They actually make strikingly tuneful notes, stronger and higher in tone when the creature attacks. Its shell, its head, is a defensive and offensive capabilities. So it rams into the submarine, and it's also defensive. So if you shoot its head, let's just say it's going to do nothing. The damage it does is 1/100th. This is me getting mad because they're not spawning near. But the way they attack is they'll actually cling onto your ship. So as you can see here, they'll hold onto your ship and sink it. You'll see it here and here. The Scorpion is a placeholder creature. Their code is present in the game files, but they don't spawn naturally, only appearing through console commands, like I've done here. Blog posts reveal it was used to test features early on in development. So there you go. That's all the Wikipedia has. Here's a trivia. The Scorpion, Coelanth, and Tiger Thresher all use the same sound files. There you go. Their swimming speed is 1.5 and their walking speed is 1.5. So as you can tell, like, this dude hasn't been really presented. He knows he's got to stick out his tail to do damage, but he's just like, wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Its attack damage is 80. Its damage type is none, because, well. And it sticks to entities, for 0.5 seconds. I decided to spawn one in the ship, because I had no idea what it was doing, and it just glitched. What is that? I forgot that happened. Ooh. So, as you can tell, placeholder, not there. Here's the small creatures. Crawler, Fractal Guardian, Husk and Mantis. Medium, Carrier, Coelanth, Tiger Thresher and Watcher. Large Charybdis and Moloch, and large Endworm. I've just realized I've highlighted the whole Wikia page. Here we go. The Watcher is an octopus-like European creature named after its large eye. Despite its startling appearance, it is docile in nature and will attack neither submarines nor their crew members, unless provoked. Once riled up, however, its resilience makes it a dangerous foe. Problem here, guys. I went out to actually see it. You'll see the scene. I went out to see the Watcher, and it didn't attack me. I completely forgot I had railguns and that I could attack it. I didn't think of that. I just expect these things to be scary. Its health is 1000. Its swimming speed 0.5. Its walking speed 0.3. Its armor, yes. Weak points, its limbs. Watchers have 6 limbs and a large protruding head, having no specialized appendages dedicated to swimming. They are exceptionally slow moving, their limbs are black and their heads are multicolored. Watchers are visually orientated animals. Their iridescent head's main feature is its large eye, giving them splendid vision. Splendid vision! Vision? On the other hand, they seemingly suffer from deafness. Oh. Hey, another alien rune. There you go. Were there any Fractal Guardians? Not by the looks of it. Oh, there was a Mantis. Watchers' heads are completely armored on all sides. Attacking the head will only inflict, ready? 1/100th of damage. Jesus. They also possess a shell. No duh. Wait, actually no, I probably shouldn't have said that, because you wouldn't expect a shell. Watchers are solitary creatures always encountered alone. I've never encountered a normal one in this game, by the way. I've played about 50 missions. Watchers are passive but inquisitive creatures, despite having no desire to attack the submarine or its crew. Watchers will still approach the ship to gaze at the human activities through any windows. So if you feel scared of them, don't, unless you run into them, which then, run! Swim! Go! Be free! But I actually felt quite safe with them, apart from when I was outside the water with them. Look how big they are on the radar, on the sonar. They become aggressive once attacked and then proceedingly ram into the humans and submarine alike. Harming a Watcher is made difficult by its relatively high health and armored head. It is recommended to aim at the limbs for maximal efficiency. Taking this into account, the proper course of action during an encounter with a Watcher is to avoid engaging a fight. Here I am, swimming right on it. I was like, oh, okay, it's harmless. That scared me though. When it moved like that, it absolutely terrified me. But yeah, it doesn't attack unless you run into it. But yeah, I feel quite safe being inside my submarine with these guys outside. They're quite a nice character. I heard Husks coming, so I decided to get in my submarine. Sheer panic. The Tiger Thresher is a ray-finned-like beast. Tiger Threshers are barracuda-like fish with 6 lateral fins, the last pair modified into tendrils. Their slender body is silvery with darker stripes, hence the moniker of Tiger, in quotation marks, and spots, including a black stripe around its neck. Tiger Threshers have 3 pairs of eyes and a jaw filled with small but razor-sharp teeth. Its chin presents a beard, in quotation marks, of small tooth-like extensions. The underbelly features light blue, presumably bioluminescent, spots. Its scales are small except on the head and upper torso where they increase in size. Tiger Threshers can be found alone or appear in pods of up to 3 individuals. Tiger Threshers are capable of doing massive damage to a submarine and its crew with a single attack. They will favor going after humans out in the water, and their razor-sharp teeth inflict heavy bleeding on their prey. The railgun is an effective way of dealing with Tiger Threshers, taking between 1 and 3 shots to dispatch one, or if you have a nuke, and in the event that a player plans on being outside during a Tiger Thresher attack, it is suggested they exit the submarine with an underwater scooter to increase their mobility, and bandages to heal their what the is that word? Hey, it's got backwards A and E. Hemorrhagic? Hemorrhagic. That's what it sounds like. Wounds the creature will try to inflict. Sorry. Bit sidetracked. Tiger Threshers are one of many creatures that prey on lesser creatures such as crawlers. Should a deceased Tiger Thresher be nearby, any living Tiger Thresher will be like, woo, and eat them, and cannibalize, because cannibalism. Look at them. Look at him. Look how persistent they are. He's following my... hang on. Any living Tiger Threshers will cease their current action in order to cannibalize the corpse. So, if you're gonna... There's the naturally spawned one. This was a mission. Usually you get this mission and it's kill a Tiger Thresher. And yeah, that's the mission. Kill a Tiger Thresher. So there you go. Its attack damage is 150, bleeding damage 10, structure damage 200, damage type is a slash, and its attack duration is 0.5 seconds. You may notice they have the same traits. They have 3 pairs of eyes and a tail like the Coelanth. Yeah! And coming up is... drumroll, please! Ooh, there's an advert for espresso martinis. Oh yeah, Endworm. The Endworm is a titanic worm-like creature, named after its ability to, quotation marks, end the lives of anybody who comes across it. It is the largest and most destructive creature in Europa's ocean. Endworms are about the size of an average submarine. So if you have a look at the Vellamalo compared to the Endworm, it's pretty much the same size. I want someone to now make a submarine that is the Endworm. Do that. They are primarily brown in color, with a select few limbs being copper. The Endworm's bodies are covered in limbs that allow them to propel themselves through water. The head of an Endworm is pale and round, its only traits being 5 pairs of tusk-like teeth and an impressive pair of articulated mandibles, the main weapon of the creature. While these tools are tremendously destructive, they are too clumsy to reliably crush something as comparatively small as a human. The Endworm's only target are large prey, such as the submarine. Endworms emit a deep rumbling sounds by unknown means, their low pitch reflecting the size of what they originate from. Endworms are solitary creatures and they never travel in groups. That's a good thing. I'm actually going to spawn a second one here, so... Endworms will primarily ignore any humans they come across and will only go after submarines. Their mandibles can make short work of the ship's hull, but are remarkably weak against humans, inflicting relatively low damages to crew members. They can stun people for 5 seconds, which can have drastic consequences during an attack. Endworms cannot be inflicted with bleeding, adding to their incredible resilience. And when fighting an Endworm, it is recommended to use the most efficient weapons at one's disposal. A railgun loaded with several nuclear shells. Add 100 to that and I will be happy. Several nuclear shells is the most effective way of dealing with it. Maintaining distance from the Endworm is essential to killing it, as it can be very quick to incapacitate the submarine. Fleeing it is also a viable option, as it cannot match the ship's speed. Since an Endworm will never target a player, the only way to be directly damaged by it is to collide with the mandibles. Because of this, simply fleeing the submarine in the worst case scenario is a viable option. However, it is imperative that the crew does not attempt this in the abyss. Well, the worst case scenario would be being stuck at the bottom of the abyss with the water pressure crushing and your pretty much endworm chasing you with a Tiger Thresher, all the monsters after you, and you're about to get crushed by the water pressure. I think that would be the worst case scenario, so don't ever flee the ship in the worst case scenario. Unless you're not in the abyss, which then, run! Well, that's about that. I mean, nothing else, just we can sit here and watch the endworm. Creator, if you are watching this, you have done a very impressive job on the physics, and for a Toshiba, like a Toshiba touchpad, this is a touchpad I'm running, can run this amazing game. I'm super impressed with your work. Keep up the great work. Seriously. And Kraken, I hope you see this video. Well, that's that, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. I put a lot of work in. I had about 80 voiceovers, including this one. And it was just a lot of work. A lot of work. And Wikia pages printed. Also, thank you to Rick Murray, who I am actually going to be in one of his Overwatch animations, so check that out. I'll probably be wearing glasses and a blonde boy. But yeah, he also I donated $40 so he can help his friends, so look out for his streams. Also, thank you to Kraken, because he showed me this game, and he's just a really good YouTuber. He's funny and everything. Well, this isn't a call out, but Kraken, please let me be in one of your Barotrauma videos.